Now, live from the 2015 Vancouver International Wine Festival, Anthony Gismondi and Casey Wilson. This is Tony and Casey's Best of Food and Wine on Sea Isle 650.
Welcome back to the Best of Food and Wine. I'm Tony Gismondi. Who's talking out there?
Casey Wilson.
Yeah, they're always bothering us about something. The lights are going on and off. Wow, we're near the end. I can't believe it. Seemed like a huge, long week a week ago. Flying by. Joining us now, MarkDavidson, in charge of education in North America, really, for Australian wines. Welcome back.
Thank you. Good to
Great
be
to
back.
have you from Wineaustralia. And then AaronBrasher, also the regional director for Asia Pacific. I want that job. I think that's a cool job, too, for Wineaustralia. Welcome to the show.
Thanks. It's
you guys have
big
here. Smiles. The plan has been executed.
Yeah, look, I think we're down to the last couple of hours. We're a little bit punch drunk, maybe.
Yes.
And,
Who isn't?
There's light at the end of the tunnel, but it's been a fantastic show.
It has. I think.
It's also nice to come into a bit of AC/DC music being played, or as we call it, Akadaka.
Yeah. Art's our man, you know. Kudos to Art. He gets up at 4 in the morning to do that kind of stuff. Well, it's been a great week. You came with a message. Do you feel like it was delivered?
Yeah, in spades, actually. We're very, very happy across the board. And it started the message about just sort of delving beyond the concept of Australian wine and getting into regions and sub-regions, even for that matter. And that, you know, the minute you walk into the room, it looks that way. You're seeing this separation.
Great layout.
Good, eh?
Useful.
Beautiful.
The starburst.
Yeah, the starburst.
The starburst.
Yeah.
Oh, I would have loved to have been in that meeting.
We paid a consultant many hundreds of thousands to come up with that word, didn't we, Mark?
Yeah,
well, geez, Mark and I, we could have got some crates and, you know, made a few bucks too. No, it's been a great layout, very welcoming. But the question of regionality, or the purpose of talking about regionality, I think has really been driven home this week.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, was not without any thought, for sure. We, as I say, we designed the room that way, and the seminars were absolutely focused on that, with the message being at every single level of the price structure.
Mm-hmm.
Think region, think think quality, and think individuality, and it was great. Really happy.
And the Chardonnay was good too.
Boy, was it ever!
That's been a huge revelation, I think, for a lot of people in the room.
And it's been a message that I've been trying to drive home for quite a number of years.
But we don't see it. We finally have see it en masse.
That's right.
It's pretty amazing.
So many people go around. It's just a buddy of mine who's not in wine at all. He's a trainer at one of the gyms I'm at, and he just came up and he said, "Wow, I just tried this Chardonnay."
Yeah.
And blew him away. And this is, it's nice to sort of see what people who are not in the wine business are saying about it.
Pretty impressive events. I mean, these people are in the room tonight, but last night the Barossa tasting was just off the charts. We had so much fun talking about all the sub-regions of Barossa, but it made all sense when you have the wines in front of you. Yeah. And there's so much that can be done, I think, if we push ahead.
Absolutely. And to me, it's like, this is a really good launching pad again for the future for us, because that's the message all the way along.
Yeah.
Individuality.
Aaron, I assume you're at Savor in Australia.
Yes, I was back in September 13.
Yeah, so that was a kind of a brainchild kickoff too. Is this a baby Savor?
Yeah, it is. It's a little bit scaled back, but again, the same messaging about diversity, quality, regionality. And that message that Australia is not a homogenous, one-size-fits-all wine country.
Yeah.
It's got 65 regions.
It seems obvious, but it's also obvious that you have to go out and do it. You got to take it to the people.
There's the old saying, shoe leather in our industry is really important. That's what it is. It's getting winemakers into the market. It's telling the stories, getting the wines down people's throats.
Yeah.
Because once we get it back into their mouths, they're rediscovering Australia. And it's a really important message.
Well, I love it here because we're just up above the crowd, and as you can see, it's crowded everywhere. People are at all the booths tasting all the wines, not just Australia.
Yeah.
So there's fierce competition in the world today for your people's money in the glass.
I've been standing around just lurking or stalking consumers and just listening to their conversations.
Yeah.
And, I was listening to a couple just before, and one of them turned to the other and just said, Australia makes awesome wines. And to me,
wow.
I'd love to
just put that on.
That's it. Yeah.
That should be up on the banner next time.
Exactly.
Now, this is what you want to hear in the Asia Pacific region.
Oh, it is. And look, I think, my markets are Australia and Asia, and markets like China and Hong Kong are very important, but Canada is our third biggest market for Australian wine. So incredibly important marketplace, a strong affinity with Australia and a strong affinity with Australian wine. So we're here to keep perpetuating that and to grow the market. And again, I think talking to other countries, mates that are working for the Kiwis, etc., they're saying that Australia has raised the bar with this show. So to me, I'm very proud of that. We're very proud of that.
Well, I'm happy too because, Mark, we talked earlier, Lindemans, there's people in this room that are younger than how many years Lindemans been in the market here when they started out. So there's a very long history in Vancouver. It's always been sort of the first export market for a lot of wineries, whether it was in California or Australia. Long history there. Yeah,
well, like I've said, I think maybe on a previous show, the Aussie producers love coming here because it's viewed as a quote-unquote sophisticated wine market, and you can actually put better quality, slightly higher priced wines in front of people, and they get it and they understand.
Hard to believe that people who skate on ice on little pieces of razor are sophisticated, but
the last time I was here in Vancouver was 7 or 8 years ago when Australia was the theme country at this very festival. And I look around now to what it was back then, and the messaging and the quality of wines and the diversity again. What we have, whether it's Touriga from the Barossa Valley or Vermentino from McLaren Vale, as well as our great Shiraz and Chardonnay, we've had a generational shift.
Yeah, no, it's great. And I love it because our people are just getting going in the Okanagan, and we love them to be pushed too. So every time you guys come and push hard like you have this week, it reinvigorates everybody in the business.
Well, as I said a couple of times too, I mean, I've been coming to the Wine Festival since I've been in Vancouver, which is 25 years now, and not just because we put this on and because it looked great. This is I don't think we've ever done anything. Nobody's ever done a sort of an area like this. And,
No, it's a fantastic show. Tell us about the wine you brought.
Well, I just figured that, you've had a bunch of people on trying them, and I was just saying to Aaron, almost at the same time, we thought, wouldn't a lovely, refreshing rosé
beer be great? Oh, sorry, wouldn't a rosé be great?
Just it's lively and it's fresh, and Turkey Flat has always had a long history of rosé production. They've always been a great producer of it, and Grenache has always formed the backbone of it. But as I said to the owner today, I was like, you know what, this seemed to have dried it down a little bit. It's lighter, it's a paler color, and I just feel like there's an evolution even in rosé style.
I was going to say the Aussies have finally get rosé. The color now is the right color because they used to be too dark.
I agree.
They were okay, but they're not appealing. This color already draws you right,
And the residual sugar's been tapered back, and it's dry and it's savoury, and it lends itself to
it's almost Provençal,
almost.
And it's so appealing
on the McLaren.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And Turkey Flat, you've got some of the best names in the business. So, really, when you think about wine labels, and we've seen some great ones this week.
We have beautiful labels.
Been great. Any Mark, just a few highlights in the room. People are raving about. I know Suma Chardonnay was blowing away the Soms, and
so
a lot
much
of
so
people.
That it's gone.
Yeah, it's gone, but it's coming back. And there's Sauvignon, which most people didn't even know what it was. I think it's going to be a big success too.
Yeah, I think it's sort of about a discovery because there's enough sort of alternate varieties and unusual varieties here. There's a discovery there, which is Touriga, Vermentinos, Viogniers for people. But then there's also sort of a rediscovery. I'm often reminded that Kellogg's Cornflakes did an awesome commercial a few years ago back saying, try us again for the first time. And I think, I feel like using that for Shiraz.
Yes,
because go back and have a look at it because it's not what it looked like 10 years ago.
Yeah, so at the last festival 8 years ago, it's changed a lot.
Oh, it's a metamorphosis.
Well, there was no toe puddle at the last one.
No.
There you go. How good is that?
That is just a sensational bottle of wine.
And also the sparkling wine. On the first couple of days, we poured Arras and Jance on a focus table over there.
Yeah.
And the quality of sparkling wine coming out of Australia is spectacular.
At the gala last Friday night, so many people were saying to me, what is this sparkling wine? I said, well, that's Tasmania, they were just blown away by that wine.
Yeah.
They had no idea that a sparkling wine could have that quality. So
I was very quick to point out because I was at the gala with you there, and I was like, "Yep, that's Tasmania. It's that cool climate lends itself well to this." And I was very quick to point out it was $25.
Yes, right.
Yeah, like it costs nothing.
Yeah,
really good.
Yeah.
The future, gentlemen, more of the same, or what?
The immediate future is beer for sure. We'll be going for a beer at
the next couple of hours.
Like about a half an hour from now. Yeah.
Oh, look, I think I don't think there's anything, different from really what we've been doing for the last few years, and it's culminating with something like this. It's that same messaging.
Yeah.
So it's like the old story. Tell them again. Tell them, just keep doing that.
Mark, I remember you telling me I'm flying into American cities, I'm meeting like 6 or 8 people and showing them 3 or 4 cool wines and leaving. And I thought, wow, what a great idea, but how can that work? Will it work? But I think it totally works now because you got to have some people who buy in.
It was 18 to 20 people.
Was it? Yeah. Well,
but it was micro. Look.
It's a story. It's radio, man.
No,
Don't let the truth get in the way of a good story.
I would do one-on-ones. I'd fly to a city and meet one person.
Yeah.
No, but a lot of it when I took over the role with WineAustralia, I looked at it as sort of grassroots, sort of guerrilla warfare, if you like, and that's getting in front of people and saying, hey, whatever it was that you were thinking about Australian wine, I get it, I understand it, this is what was available to you. It's not the full picture.
Yeah.
And the only way to do that is, big trade shows are really difficult because you don't get people's attention. When you sit them down for an hour or 2 hours and run them through a bunch of wines, there's nothing to not get.
Yeah.
You've done
it makes a huge difference in wine.
Totally.
To present it on a one-to-one.
Sit down.
It
compare.
really does make a difference.
Well, MarkDavidson, AaronBrasher, both from WineAustralia, you guys have had a sensational show here. I don't think you can be more pleased with the outcome. Still another hour or so to go for people to run around, but we're so excited to be a part of it. We've interviewed most of your colleagues. I'm sure you'll be able to hear the tape someday. They think you guys are great, by the way.
That's good.
And we would not let you go without mentioning Scheller Hamer-Jackson, who has coordinated this show. She is an incredible person to work with.
Yeah, it's nice for us to get around, Aaron and I, just to sort of prance around and stuff, but actually Shelley was the person along with Louise and the team.
Yeah.
They did so much hard
And she
yards.
took time off to break her back. And
no, I was going to say, we'd literally broken our back to bring this to you. But no, Shelley had that accident, but what was really telltale for me was that none of us had seen the room. We had an idea in mind. We knew what we wanted to do from Savour.
Yeah.
Shelley had it. She was really instrumental orchestrating how this came to. She walked into the room and said, "I went in and I started crying." And I thought, "Oh, it must be good." I hadn't even seen it yet.
Yeah.
Well, he said, "Yeah, you have in your mind's eye how you want something to look and how you want to impress people and have that first impact." And we, got it.
Yeah.
And so it was pretty satisfying for her, I'm sure.
Guys, thanks so much, eh? Great
Pleasure
job.
having us.
Thank you.
Thank Vancouver.
Go out into the night and enjoy
festival.
yourselves.
We shall. Cheers.
Yeah,
Do the best
thanks
we
so
can.
much.
Good evening.
Yeah, big hand for Wines of Australia. Fantastic job. Well, that wraps it up for us live. We've been here for about 75 days, Art, have we not? Or, I don't know. You keep track of it all. He doesn't even have a mic now. I love it. He's plugging in.
I'm back.
Thank you, Art. We have plenty of people to thank, including the Pan Pacific Hotel where Casey and I have stayed. You came down about 100 floors from your place, but I went up 22 from mine, so we had a fantastic time over there.
We did.
We were treated like kings.
Beautiful hotel.
Yeah,
Fabulous
fastest
service.
elevators in the city.
Fastest elevator, and they tell you what day it is every day.
and incredible breakfast. Really, we thank them so much for their kindness. And Art, you were up
At
the
the
road
Fairmont.
at the Fairmont Hotel Vancouver.
Yes.
Yeah.
Big thanks to Nancy Hall over there for helping Stu and
Yeah. You guys had had fun there.
I. Amazing room.
Yeah.
Beautiful view.
Well, another great
Wanna
year
live there.
for the Best of Food and Wine live from the floor of the Vancouver International Wine Festival. I guess we'll be back for 38. I don't know, Art, will we?
I hope so.
Stu says.
Quick thanks to Nestor's for feeding us this afternoon.
Yeah, thank you very much, Nestors. We take our leave, but we'll be back as usual on Thursday nights. We are live at 6 o'clock every Thursday night on the Best of Food and Wine. You can find us on Sea Isle 650, and you can listen to us live online while you're still at work, too. Either way, we'd love you to catch up with us. Thanks for joining us. I'm Tony Gismondi.
And I'm Casey Wilson, reminding you it takes a lot of beer to make a good wine.
That's it for tonight's show. Broadcasting live from the 2015 Vancouver International Wine Festival. Join us again this coming Thursday night at 6 for Tony and Casey's Best of Food and Wine on Sea Isle 650.